And if we talk to government, school boards, they just do not care. Their agenda is to keep their jobs, and somehow they're all threatened that if you make some noise, you can lose your job. So it's a fear technique. And that's the reason that parents have to take things in their own hands. Our main purpose is to empower parents, to make them aware what's going on. Because in today's censorship world, government controls the media. They actively try to prevent parents from knowing this, and if they know, they make them feel that they are alone and they should just be quiet. And we are here to do exactly opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
And congratulations that you guys are here. That's a very good first step. So now we have few people who are very knowledgeable about this subject. They are working for several years to expose this. One of them is Pierre Barns, who will be our first speaker. Pierre has daughters in the school and he's really worried. What he has done is, he has gone to online libraries of BC schools and he has researched all the books and he has dug out the books which has questionable content in them. So he has dedicated his 2 to 3 years just on this one thing. And he will tell you what he has found. So here is Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre. Woo!
Thank you, Pierre.
Hey everyone, thanks for coming today. So we can finally talk, which is a good thing. So I actually made research all across the country, not just in BC, in regards to all the books that are available in school right now. So I bought the books and I did my own review of it. I got a couple screenshots of the books right here that definitely are showing sexually explicit material to children. So if you have any children around here, just make sure that if you want to see the stuff that I'm going to show you, just don't bring your children with you. Okay? So I'm going to be careful with the language I'm going to use because there are children around. So I'm not going to do like the teacher are doing. Okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly.
Burn!
So we're kind of more civilized in the street, I guess. Yeah, so there are one association in Canada. Wait a minute. Yeah, the Canadian Centre of Child Protection. Okay, it's an organization. It's a governmental organization. It's funded by the government actually, and they have made 2 reports regarding an epidemic of sexual abuse that is happening right now in our country, in K-12 school. So when we are saying there is a problem, there is a problem. It's not an illusion that we have. It's things are really happening. There is I found over 2,000 cases of teacher misconduct related to sexual abuse all across the country, only in the BC, Alberta, and Ontario, because they are the only province all across the country that are reporting, that are making public the case of teacher misconduct. So I find over 2,000 cases, and this association here, which is the Canada Centre of Child Protection, they are speaking about some of those cases. So they made 2 reports the past 5 years, and they are that organization is responsible for the fact that now that they are making the case public, because a couple of years ago it was impossible to find a case of teacher misconduct online. So when we say that there is some things happen, and what they are doing, actually, when they are telling us that showing sexually explicit material to children is fine, they are so wrong, because according to the... Good? Hello? Oh my god. 1, 2. I need to speak more loudly?
Yeah!
Good, yeah? I don't want to sound like Hans too fast. I'm going to be more down, I'm more moderate. Yeah. It's good? Yeah, speaking of fancy fellas, are you good? 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, you sure, yeah? Good. Okay, so, well, I was. I was with, anyway, so we're speaking of fancy fellas, I just want to thank the police here in the Surrey and Delta. They're doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
I should all applaud them.
Woo!
Thanks a lot. And I do like the rules that they just made that we should be 6 foot apart of any protester. I mean, I don't mind. They can say whatever they want. They can yell. That's fine. But I don't think anyone should be able to yell at 1 foot from someone. And I don't think anyone who yell at somebody should be at punch reach of anyone. So I think 6 foot is a pretty safe thing to do. So it's a good thing that we avoid to. I mean, it looks really peaceful anyway. But I mean, yeah, they want to have a conversation. They're more than welcome. But you know, we still have to follow the rules. And yeah. So regarding why was it all this stuff? What got me with this mic thing? Oh yeah, the Canadian Center of Child Protection. Yeah. So anyway, so you can go online, you can find all these documentations, and you're gonna find most of the case that I'm talking about, and go through those documents, because those documents explain exactly the dangers of showing sexually explicit material to children, which is they are true dangers to it. And this thing is annoying, man.
Put the mic closer to your mouth.
Close to my mouth?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Spoiler. Yeah, I'm gonna go that way. Okay, good. Okay, so yeah, so according to the section 170. Okay, so this is where I was actually. What I was saying, when they are telling us that it is okay to show sexually explicit material to children, and when they are telling us that, they are wrong according to the criminal code. You should not show sexually explicit material to children. Okay, when they are doing that, even knowing that it is illegal, they are doing this to groom us. To groom us to believe that this is okay to show sexually explicit material. Like they have been able to groom us to believe that a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man. You know, so all this stuff that so we have to be very careful to stand our ground in regards to the law, the actual law, because they didn't change it yet. Maybe it will happen at some point. But you know, to stand our ground with them, that pornography should not be shown to children. It's very simple. Having two people having a sexual intercourse together, this is not the type of stuff that should be shown to children in school. It should not. I mean, we can talk about sexual health in school without having to show true sexual act, and without having to define sexual act in school. You know, I went to school when I was a child, and you know, I think I had one class in regards to sexual health. You know, I didn't have an entire curriculums about this, so you know, I didn't have like rainbow flags all around my school, because the only meaning of the rainbow flag actually is all sexual orientation, right? You know, I have nothing against people of different sexual orientations, but what's the point of having a flag in school that the only things that the flag's talking about is sex?
Yeah.
What's the point of it? You know, I think I'm very, very happy. You know, there's nothing more inclusive than the Canadian flag.
Yep.
You know, it's very simple. I think the Canadian flag should be all across school. We are one of the most inclusive countries in the entire world. We don't need a rainbow flag to tell us that we are inclusive. We need that flag. You know, I mean, the Canadian flag. So yeah. So it's very simple. So yeah, they are doing exactly what pedophile would do. So they are grooming the populations to believe that what they are doing is right. So the only thing I can say is parents have to stay their ground. If you have some leftists that come to you and told you that you know, you are not inclusive because you don't want to show sexually explicit material to your children, I told them they're wrong. That's it. You don't even need to argue more with them, because those people are. You'll never win an argument with them. It's very simple. We have to go back to the basic, to the base that, you know, showing pornography to children is wrong. There is a man cannot be a woman, and a woman cannot be a man. And there is no children looking at me right now, right?
One.
No?
One.
Yeah, go on. One? Okay. Where is?
She's over at the street, Pierre.
Okay.
She's over.
Okay, good. Anyway. So look, you're gonna go that way. There's no children. So when they are saying that a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man, here's the dangers of it. Here's what they do to those children. You see the pictures? So pass this around actually. That's a good idea. So look, and don't show this to children, okay? So that's what they are doing. So when they are telling the parents that, you know, girls can be a boy, that's what they do. They are cutting body parts, they are giving puberty blockers to children, they are giving testosterone to little girls. You know, it's completely wrong, and no one's on this planet that will ever make me believe that this is okay. And I don't think, I think that 90%, maybe more of the population will never agree to give puberty blockers to children or to mutilate the body of little girls. And you know, what they start to do, because they know that they are losing actually, what they start to do is they start to tell us that it's not happening. It is actually happening. Because I download over 6,000 pictures of gender clinic all across the country, not in USA. I don't touch the US stuff. I don't touch the WEF stuff. I don't touch anything. Everything I make research on is in Canada. I focus on Canada. That's the only place I focus. And I find over 6,000 pictures of young girls with the breasts cut, okay, or put on testosterone. Yeah, so you can find this. So you can find this on my website. So when we are saying that there are bad things that are happening, there is a lot of bad things that are happening, and there is a Billboard. I don't know if anyone heard of Billboard Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, right? So Billboard Chris got lots of documentation on his site. He's got the documentations about UK and USA. He's got documentations about Canada as well, so you can go on his site. I think it's billboardchris.com, if I remember good. You can always go on the Billboard Chris website and find lots of documentations about what's going on right now. But the main point is, this is happening. There are sexual abuse that are happening in school. This is a fact, okay? And they are mutilating children right now in Canada, and this is a fact. So that's about it. So we have, don't let them groom you to believe that showing sexually explicit material to children is correct. It's not correct, and don't let them groom you to believe that a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man. That's it. It's very simple. It's it's basic biology, right? You know?
I didn't have a sex ed class until I was in high school.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was very, very minimal. It was not at all about, you know, getting into the details of sexual intercourse. It was just the basics of, you know, our sexuality, and yeah, it's mind blowing what's going on right now.
Yeah. Anyone has
and
any
this whole
question?
stat about like the suicide rates, they want to prevent suicide. Meanwhile, those that are transitioning, whether it's immediate or down the road, years from now, it's like increased suicide rates from this transitioning process. So don't let them make you believe that we're preventing suicide. We're actually increasing suicide rates. I just said all I had to say, but you know.
You can stay there and speak.
Let's go.
I'm pretty sure I said everything I had to say, but it's amazing to me that, you know, I was born in 1980, and you know, the only sex ed class I had was in high school. I think I was in grade 10 or 11. I was 15, 16, something like that. To hear that they're getting, you know, sex ed in you know, elementary school and early elementary school is just mind-blowing to me. And I was reading this pamphlet, which is full of really important information. If you haven't read it, please do. Please take a screenshot of it, or like a photo of it, and put it online, because I think most parents don't know. I'm not a parent, but I tell you, any parents that I know, I want to let them know, like, if you're not aware, it's time to get aware, because we have to protect every child. Because, you know, they're innocent in this. They don't know what they don't know, and they don't know the greater agenda behind this. And, you know, at the bottom of this pamphlet it says, you know, the reality is there is a 20% increase in suicide for those who transition, and transgender regret is exploding as individuals realize they were deceived into following this path. You know, a lot of people say that we're helping people, we're preventing we're decreasing suicide rates because children are feeling suicidal, but you know what? Like, the fact is, we're not addressing the emotion. Like, we're not addressing the root cause of why children are feeling, you know, uncomfortable or feeling, you know, that something's wrong. It's not about changing your gender. Isn't going to change that. You know, like, in my opinion, you know, it's like a lot of people having plastic surgery as adults. They think that if I get a best job, I'm going to feel better about myself. I'm going to feel better about the world. That's not true. We can't. There's not a physical change that's going to address the emotional side of things. So we really need to be investing in our children and helping them to manage their emotions. We need to be looking at, you know, mental illness in this country, which is skyrocketing at all ages. And this is just a washing. It's like greenwashing, you know, when it comes to climate change. This is just putting a nice colorful rainbow over some really, really evil agendas behind it all. That's my opinion. Would love to hear from everybody else.
Thank you, Sam. Give it up for my girlfriend. She's awesome. And every other speaker, and Amrit for putting this on. I just want a moment to say that nobody had a problem with any of this LGBT stuff until children became involved. Nobody had a problem with drag queens until children became involved. All right, so this is something that everybody needs to ask. Why do drag queens need to be in front of children? How come children are now the event horizon, the focal point of all of this? And I just wanted to say, you kind of touched on it, there's no physical solution to a spiritual problem. I'll repeat that again. There's no physical solution to a spiritual problem. And since we're on Easter right now, I'll just take a moment. I've been talking to some people, some trans activists on Twitter, and they'll gladly admit that at the core of what it is satanic. They're going after children because an attack on a child is a direct attack on God, because children have not had the time to be corrupted, to sin yet. And a child is the closest you get to the image of God. Okay, and the Baphomet is a goat with tits and breasts, and the horns. It looks like a transgender. It's a non-binary ram, and basically this is the core nucleus of what they're doing. They're trying to turn all our foundational principles that built this country up on its head, and I just want to say thank you all for being here today. I mean, at the end of the day, we all know that erasing women's sports and mutilating children wasn't part of the deal. Nobody cared about anything that anybody did in the bedroom until this stuff started happening. So that wasn't part of the deal. And what we're actually seeing now is a lot of LGB breaking away from the TQ+. There's a rift happening, and I'm seeing it every day. And maybe it's necessary, because this is the next big women's rights stand. We need to take a stand for women, for children. The whole point of why you have a society is to protect the weak from the strong. If you don't protect the weak from the strong, you have effectively destroyed society without even firing a single bullet. So let's stand united, of people of all faiths and colors and creeds, and defend our women and children. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Are you done? Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good. That was good.